Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to 1010 KSIR, KSIR.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Tyler Carmen coming to you from the Thunder Bowl off of CSU Pueblo's campus in Pueblo, Colorado. The biggest game for your Brush Beat Diggers since 2014. We'll get to your starting lineups in a minute, brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. But I am happily joined in the booth tonight by two men who know much, much more about Brush's championship runs than I do, Ron Albo and John Beltran alongside me tonight. Ron, we'll start with you. Huge game for the Beat Diggers. Tell me what this means just for your school and what it means to you personally.
Well, it's an exciting night. And, being on this end, I talked about it earlier in some of the playoff games, but I've been involved in 3 championship games with Brush, 2 as a coach and now 1 as a broadcaster, and I couldn't be any more excited than I'm sure those players and coaches are down there on the field. And this is a huge thing for our town and for our community and for this group of athletes out here. All the adversity they've gone through the entire year, to be able to stick it out, persevere, and be able to be in this championship game is exactly what they've been looking for.
Your Brush Beat Diggers just coming onto the field, they look across and they see the bright red uniforms of the 12-0 Eaton Reds. John, you've seen some heck of a matchups between these two teams in the past. Last year it was Brush's last game. COVID kind of ended it, but what does it mean to face Eaton here?
They wanted Eaton. They didn't want University. They wanted Eaton. They wanted to avenge that loss from last year, and we'll get into this a little bit more here in 2 minutes, a 2-minute break on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. John Beltran back with Ron Albo and Tyler Carmen. I'm going to say one thing right here, gentlemen. The Brush Beat Diggers are going to win this football game, and I say that objectively. And I'm going to compare this, believe it or not, Tyler, to the Atlanta Braves. The Braves had 14 consecutive playoff appearances. The Beat Diggers had 14 of their own. And Ron, you all know as an assistant coach, the Beat Diggers had chances to win multiple state championships. They had so many good teams. They won that one just like the Braves did in 1995. And then this year, the Braves, the ultimate underdog throughout the course of the regular season, not even one of the best teams in baseball, played correctly at the right time. And the number I'm going to give you is 11. They had to win 11 postseason games. The Beat Diggers here, again, they've been outside the top 10 all year long. And you look at Randy Dreitz, who was one of the predecessors of this head coach, Lan Schwint. In his 11th year, he won the most dramatic playoff game in Brush history, 29-25 over Ken Denver in the semifinals. Not only was that his 11th year, that was 11 years ago today, November 7th, 27th, I should say, of 2010, tying in that 11 number even more. We remember that 44 was the big number for the Braves. Hank Aaron, number 44, died in January. And then, they won 44 games before the break. After the break, they won the World Series, 44th game of the year. How does that tie into Brush baseball? One of the most beloved Beat Diggers, Heath Becker, passed away also in January like Hank Aaron. Not to compare those two, but they're factual commonalities. It was 30 years ago, in 1991, that Brush won their only state baseball championship. There was a 21-year-old assistant coach named Heath Becker. Who did they beat? The Eaton Reds. They won that game 13-2 by 11 runs. If the Beat Diggers win this one, it would be their 11th win of the year. The 6th state championship under 5th-year head coach Lan Schwint, that also totals 11. I know this is all numbers, but I have seen this all over sports. The Brush Beat Diggers are going to win this football game tonight against the Eaton Reds, and I think the Braves comparison, as outlandish as it might seem to many, I think it makes sense because there are parallels there.
Oh, John, you gave me goosebumps.
That's why John's here.
That's why
John's here.
I love it.
Opening kickoff. Upcoming here, brought to you by Buildings by Design. When it comes to experience, BBD is the best in the business. Quality, commitment, and experience makes Buildings by Design the only choice when it comes to your next project. I didn't catch who won the toss, but Eaton's going to take the opening kickoff here. Brush in their away whites, gold pants, maroon helmets. Eaton in red, head to toe. Brush is going to kick off here. No wind really to speak of, but they're going to kick off north to south. Gable Risch stands back, ball's teed up, dead center of the 40, arm up, whistle blown, kick up and away, and we are underway on your 2A 2021 state title game. Eaton return man catches it at about the 30. He doesn't gain but maybe 5 yards, and he's drove back before a gang of Beat Diggers meets him there, and Eaton will take over.
Yeah, that was Austin Martinez on the return, but as you mentioned, Tyler, lots of gang tackling there, and that's what the Beat Diggers need to be successful That's what they've done all season, but especially in this game against a very talented Eaton offense.
Starting lineup brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. Mobile banking on the go makes banking easier for you when you're on the go. Check it out today. The 12-0 Eaton Reds are led by the junior quarterback Walker Martin. Ethan Flores, number 5, totes the ball the most behind him. They start off with a handoff to number 5, and he is met before he reaches the 35.
Caden Moriarty on the stop. That Brush defense is picking up exactly where they left off last week. They are not going to let those guys get outside.
Number 44, Ryder True. Number 50, Lucas Koss. Number 60, Trey Lawrence. 62, Lionel Morales. Number 64, Cameron Shaw. Number 72, Philip Lawrence. And number 82, Brogan Barr round out the starting lineup for the Eaton Reds. Eaton quickly into their second down play.
Pass out in the right flat that was caught underneath, but looks like about a gain of 4 there. Not sure who caught that ball on the far sideline, but they go with quick hitters like we saw Lutheran today in the 3A semifinal that Fort Morgan won 23-21, and they're right up to the line of scrimmage on a 3rd and looks like 5.
3rd and 5 from the 40-yard line. Martin under center, turn around, hand it off to Flores. Flores is going to be stopped short. Cole Curtis and Hondo in on the tackle. And it's going to be about a 4th and 2, maybe 4th and 3.
Eaton's going to go for it.
Nope, Martin's going to trot off.
He'll trot off. And you know, from watching film also on these guys, Tyler, I know that the strength of this, our defense is the perimeter. We have so much speed. If they were going to have any success, it would have to be up in the middle. And right now, Brush is doing a fantastic job of slowing down that rushing game.
Number 15, Zach Grable, the junior, is going to be the punter for the Eaton Reds. Caden Schwint stands back at his own 15-yard line. Ball is at the Eaton 42. Punter stands back inside his own 30. Good right-footed boot here. Travels deep and far to Caden. Caden's going to let it bounce at the 15. That's going to take a nice Eaton bounce and stop right about the 10-yard line. Eaton will pick it up right there. And Brush will take over deep inside their own territory. Starters for the 10-2 Brush Beat Diggers are on a 9-game win streak. They're led by your senior quarterback, Alejandro Maltos Garcia. Caden Schwint, Yvonne Cardenas, number 5 and 6. They're both seniors. Number 8, Caden Moriarty. Number 23, Kyle Wella. Number 28, Cesar Hinojos. Number 34, Jace Krieger. He is wearing number 34. He'll be toting the rock a little today. Number 53, Izzy Hernandez. Number 59, Caden Castrop. Number 64, Caden Lefevre. Number 65, Dominic Ontiveros. And number 77, Cole Curtis.
Game time temperature at 46 degrees here in Pueblo.
Brush comes out heavy set here. 3 running backs behind Hondo under center. Krieger comes in motion. Hondo's going to look to pass here. Drops straight back. Goes across the middle to Moriarty. Overthrew him with a hair. Moriarty was in about triple coverage there, and Hondo's first pass falls incomplete.
And that's a good call on first down for Brush because they want to see exactly how they're going to handle Moriarty. Are they going to single cover him or are they going to double cover him? Because when they come out in that double tight set, 3 backs in the backfield, that's a play that they want to have success with because it tells a lot of times the defense that they're going to run the ball.
On 2nd down and 10, they come out same formation. Moriarty's the tight end to the left, Stegner's to the right. Turn around, hand it off to the running back. That's got to be Cesar. He goes up the middle there. Brush's leading rusher on the year is big number 28. And he picks up about 4 yards on his first carry.
Well, it was 3rd and 5 for Eaton. They went to the ground, could not convert. Now the Beat Diggers with a 3rd and 6. The opening drive of the game with 9:36 to go, no score. The Beat Diggers in their first state title game in 7 years.
Same formation here. They're going to turn around, hand it off to Krieger. Krieger's going to try and bulldoze his way. He's not going to get the first. Barely gets to the 15-yard line. Nobody ever got him to the ground.
Ron, pretty conservative here by both teams on 3rd down. Surprised more so by Brush because they're backed up and Eaton's going to flip the field here.
Yeah, I think it's just the jitters. I mean, John, you got to get a good quarter under your belt here before you start to kind of settle into everything. So don't make mistakes. Do what you're trying to do. Be consistent. Be positive, and just let the game fall into your hands as you start to settle down.
Moriarty will be Brush's punter here. He's standing at his own 5-yard line. Gets a good kick here out of his own part of the field. Eaton's got to return all the way back to the 40-yard line to catch this thing. He does. Turns it upfield. Gets across the 50. Good return by number 25, I believe. It can't be 25 because there's no 25 on Eaton's roster.
I thought I saw 28. There's no 28 on our roster either, unless
26.
it's 26, and that is
Vincent Hood.
Yep, a sophomore.
Yep. So both teams go 3 and out on their first offensive series, and 8:42 to go in the first. Eaton will start back over here inside Brush territory at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, positive field position for Eaton definitely is a plus. Brush has really got to tighten up the defense and not let them get downfield.
This quarterback has thrown 8 interceptions this year, and the Beat Diggers know how to pick them off.
The junior Martin here, he goes shotgun set, 2 running backs flank him. He's going to hand off to Flores here. Nope, he keeps it. Quick to hand off here. Schwint comes down side. Martin breaks it off the left side, crosses the 30-yard line, gets all the way down to the 20. 25-yard run for Walker Martin. Caden Schwint came up the sideline and couldn't force him back in.
Well, you can't be worried if you're Brush. They fell behind to Severance last week, 7-0, trailed on multiple occasions against Resurrection Christian. So even an early deficit, if it happens, is nothing for Brush.
Yeah, they're not afraid of that, although you don't want that to happen early in the game.
Walker Martin deadly through the air and on the ground. 75 carries, 513 yards rushing for the junior quarterback.
Ryder True with a carry there behind his right guard. Gained just a yard, so the Beat Diggers right there for a 2nd and 9 at the 19. And Eaton up to the line of scrimmage is, I don't know if it's a hurry up, but it's certainly a no-huddle offense.
Eaton will go pistol set here. 2 wide out, right, 1 to the left. Flores is behind Martin. Tight end to the left. They fake the screen. Now Walker's rolling to the left. He's got True. He overthrew him. True had a step on Yvonne Cardenas, I believe. Martin just lofted it just a hair too far, and True couldn't come up with it.
And that time, I know watching that formation, the tight end was on the near side of the field, and he did a deep drag across. And a lot of times in that formation, they like to look for that tight end, so look for them to come back to that again.
So now 3rd and 9 here. They go 4 wide, to the right, to the left. Martin will stay in the pistol. Flores behind him. He's looking right. They're going to throw a screen. Comes downhill. Does the Brush defensive back. He missed him. Number 88, Tate Smith for the Reds is the one who caught that.
Well, Stegner made a nice tackle there. It would have been a first down if Stegner doesn't make the play. It was a gain of about 6, so it's 4th down and 3. Let's see if they're going to send in the field goal unit here, and that would be Jose Lopez to attempt what looks like it should be about a 30-yard field goal, and it will be.
Yep.
Kicking right to left. And this looks easy, but it's not, especially when you're trying to score the first points of the game off the hold of Zach Grable.
Left-footed kicker, too. That doesn't mean anything. I just think it's cool.
Yeah, I like left-footed kicker.
I do, too. Brush, nobody down on a 3-point. They're all up here. And flags fly. 2-man went in motion for Eaton.
Yep.
I don't think Brush jumped at all. This should be illegal motion for Eaton.
Nope, just delay of game.
Oh.
Yeah, they can go in motion as long as they don't run the play. If 2 are in motion.
They have to get set before they can run the play.
Right, correct. Why am I saying correct to Ron? He's been a football coach for years. I'm the one who's up here like a...
You and me both.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, if you say so.
I don't need to confirm anything that Ron says. No. It is 100% accurate.
So that backs him up to the 25 now. Ball down, kick is up. Did it go left? Good. It went wide left. Nope, no good. And Brush able to hold Eaton to nothing there on their second offensive series. 6:53 to go in the first. Brush takes back over at their own 25.
You know, it looks like, gentlemen, he overcompensated. He didn't need to kick it way off to the left like that. You almost want to kick it like straight and rely on the natural wind, the slight wind there is, to groove that ball over towards the middle. And he really overcompensated, and now the Beat Diggers are in prime position here, only at the 20-yard line, but they've stemmed the tide here, Ron, so far.
Yeah, this is exactly what you want. Big games like this come down to those little bitty things, and a missed field goal can sometimes come back to haunt you.
Krieger, Hinojos, and Wellen left to right in the backfield. Turn around, hand it off to Hinojos. Hinojos off the right side. He's going to get about a yard, maybe 2 on his second carry the other night. The Beat Diggers led by fifth-year man head coach Lance Schwint, assisted by Joe Rosenbrock, AC Wellen, Victor Lopez, Austin Acosta, Brandon Dunbar, Jesus Cardenas, Oscar Soto, and Christian Ballet. How do you say his last name?
Christian Baez.
Baez, that's right.
Nice play by the defensive end, Brogan Barr, a senior for Eaton. The Beat Diggers still looking to get that big play off. It's only their second drive of the game.
I'm okay with this ground and pound. Make Eaton commit to it and then try and throw it over top. Wellen's going to go off the left side here, and he's slammed in the backfield by big number don't even know his number. I know he's big. Was that Ryder True that came
Ryan
flying through
Dirksen.
Yeah, Dirksen and True. And that just went right over our right guard there on that play. Just got blown up that time, and now we're in some negative situations.
Well, I think Coach Schwent is trying to devise some strategy now to throw this defense off kilter, because that was a basic run play. That was more of a misdirection, a counter, but it didn't work whatsoever. And Eaton's just staying in their lines, and until you complete a pass, Eaton's going to play up pretty tight here to the line of scrimmage.
So now Hondo's going to fake the handoff. He's rolling to his right. He finds, he threw it over Wellen. And that ball is going to be picked off by Eaton inside the 20-yard line. That was number 82, Brogan Barr. Hondo overthrows Wellen right into Barr's hands. And Eaton takes over in great starting field position.
Well, they're in the red zone already, and he had him open. Now, it would have been a 2 or 3 yard gain, but the bottom line is that Hondo did not follow through there, and the ball airmailed Kyle Wellen, and Barr didn't have to do anything. It's not like he was on top of him. He just sat there.
He just sat there, and the ball came right to him.
So now Eaton takes over inside the 20. Shotgun set here. One receiver left, one right. 2 running backs. Handed off to Flores off the right side. Nice tackle there as a flag flies on the far side of the play. I believe that's Stegner that made a great ankle grab. Flag sitting at about, they pick it up and move it a little bit. Sitting right about the 16-yard line. Right at the line of scrimmage.
Usually an offensive penalty, but they're pointing towards the secondary for some reason. Let's see what it is. This will be a hold against Eaton.
Yep. So that'll help Brush out a little bit, back him up outside of the red zone.
Yeah, and Caden Moore,
Stegner.
Cale Stegner doing a great job playing that far side defensive end, keeping containment there and forcing everything inside.
Yeah, he did 2 jobs there. He forced it inside and he made the tackle. So now Walker will go under center here. I formation now, fullback and a running back behind him. He fakes the handoff to Flores. He's going to bootleg right. He's looking to the end zone, decides to take off with it. Now he flips it to True. Ryder True across the 10-yard line, gets inside the 5, picks up a first down.
I tell you what, Kyle Wellen made a mistake there. He was covering Ryder True, and then he decided to commit to the quarterback. You cannot do that. He should have stayed with that receiver. There's no way he finds True, but once Wellen committed to the rush, True was wide open, and he picked up about 20 yards on that play. Maybe even more, 23.
Yep. About 23-yard pitch and catch now under center, handed off to Flores. Flores off the left side, and he's going to walk across for the first score of the game. Eaton goes up 6-0 with 5:11 to go in the first quarter.
Again, this won't phase Brush, Ron. Sorry about that.
No, it's not going to. But just like that, a quick turnover results in 6 points in the end zone right now. So Brush has got to take a deep breath after this, get themselves back under control, and just go back to doing basic football. Just run the ball. Hopefully they can get a decent kickoff return to get them out of this negative yardage.
It's what has haunted Brush all year is turnovers, right? Their 2 losses to Morgan and Severance, especially the Severance loss. They proved last week that they can easily beat Severance if they just don't turn the ball over. And, right here in the first quarter, the interception inside the red zone leads to points for Eaton, as Eaton's extra point is up and good. They take the 7-0 lead, 5:11 to go in the first.
Well, let's mention that Fort Morgan fell behind 7-0, 43 seconds into the game against high-powered Lutheran. Took a 17-7 lead. Then they went down 21-20, and a Brandon Marquez field goal with 1:03 to go gave them a 23-21 lead. And then Frank Ortega with about 30 seconds to go, and Lutheran possessing the ball at the 16-yard line. They went for a fade for some reason instead of setting up for the field goal. His 3rd interception of the game in the very back of the end zone. That preserved the victory. Again, I'm drawing the parallel here because we saw what has happened to Brush the previous 2 games in the playoffs. They are not fazed by a 7-0 deficit. Now, if it gets to double digits, then we have to start to concern ourselves a little bit more. But it really doesn't matter who scores first.
No, it doesn't. And Brush has just got to do what Brush does all the time, just be consistent. I know, and with this, like we said, this team's been through a lot of adversity, so I don't see them getting too frazzled with it right now.
It's par for the course.
So the left-footed kicker's going to put it up on that far hash again this time. He walks to it, kicks it deep, line drive kick. This thing's going to go a beeline right to Wellen. Wellen's going to pick it up at the 5, runs to his right, cuts up field, flag flies. That's a heck of a throw for the ref. Flag flew about as far as Wellen ran.
Based on where that referee threw that flag, I'm just wondering if it's not a block in the back by one of our guys.
Kind of what it looks like.
Our near side return guy, I think, blocked in the back. And that right there just kills a good return.
Well, I think what Fort Morgan has to do offensively, Brush has to do offensively, that stretch the field a little bit. They've been offensively, everything has been in the middle.
Yep.
And if they can stretch the field quite a bit, whether it's the running game or the passing game, then they can work their way out of this trouble, because right now the one thing that Eaton is dominating is field position, even though we're still just in the first quarter.
Yeah, you've got to win that field position battle. You cannot be constantly starting your drives in negative yards all the time, inside the 20.
Yep. Brush will start this one here at the, call it 14-yard line, maybe 13-yard line. They'll send a man out to the left. Tight end to the left and right. 2 running backs behind Hondo under center. Turn around, hand it off to Cesar. Cesar off the left side. He's got a big hole. Breaks tackles, gets down across the 30-yard line. That's Brush's first big play of the game and a first down.
And that's a 16-yard gain by Cesar Hernojos. Good way to start that drive off.
That was great blocking going right at the left defensive end for Eaton.
He started inside and worked his way outside.
Brush at the 31 now. Kyle Wellen's going to go out right. Hinojos and Krieger behind Hondo. Under center, turn around, hand it off. Cesar again, big stiff arm by number 28. But he's brought down just maybe after a yard. The guy he stiff armed didn't have a chance. It was his buddy that came and dragged Cesar down.
Well, most normal backs would gain a yard. He gained 2 there, only because of his power. And he kind of tried to throw a stiff arm to that defender, as you mentioned. And that's not a bad 2 yards there, 2nd down and 8. You'd like 3 or 4, but.
Well, now Cesar, he limps off the field.
Well, it's next man up at this point, but I think he'll be back in the game. This is just temporary at this point.
Yeah, no, there's no keeping 28 off the field. So now Krieger and Wellen in the backfield. Cardenas, your swing back to the right. They're going to pitch it to Wellen off the right side. Wellen's got room to run here. Tries a little bit of a spin move. Gets stopped shy of the 40-yard line.
But a nice 5-yard pickup, now 3rd and 3. You can't ask for anything more of your Brush. You hold on to the ball. It's a 3rd and 3. Hinojos is not in there again. He's still on the sidelines, and here comes Caden Schwint into the game for Austin Sisk.
Eaton will sub out a couple of defensive players, too. They're going to go 5 defensive linemen. 2 receivers split out wide to either side for Brush. Hondo under center. Krieger and Wellen behind him. Hondo turn around, hand it off to Krieger. Looked like a little bit of confusion there. As Krieger gets across the 40, he got 2, so it'll be 4th and 1 now.
Well, for a play that looked very clumsy, to get 2 yards was not too bad. But
Krieger did what he had to do.
Yep, every yard counts in this game, and especially in this drive right now with just under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter.
And Brush trailing 7-0 on the touchdown run from 3 yards away by Ethan Flores. But the Bee Diggers at their own 40 are going to go for it. And quite frankly, this is the right call.
Yep. Oh yeah, you don't want to give it. You don't want to give it back to Eaton this soon. We're only 2:40 to go in the first. Sisk will go out far left. Cardenas to the right. Moriarty's the tight end to the right. Krieger and Wellen behind Hondo. Still no Cesar. Turn around, hand it off to Krieger. Krieger's going to bowl his way. He stopped. Let's see where the refs are right on the. He got a yard. This looks good. This looks like a first down.
It is very close. Yep, they did get it. But let me tell you, that was mainly close. Chase Krieger, because he was stacked up right there after that 1 yard. They drove him back, but give the officials credit. Forward progress is what gave him the first down.
Yep, they knew he got a yard. So Brush picks up its first down of the game. Clock coming down on 2 minutes to go in the first. Cardenas will go out to the left this time. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's Caden Schwint to the left. Cardenas, your swing back to the left. Turn around. Fake the handoff to Krieger. Hondo's going to roll left. Quarterback draw off the left side. Cross the 50-yard line. Big first down there and about 14-yard scamper for the senior quarterback.
Man, that play was set up fantastic. And, a downfield block from our pulling guard, Caden Lefevre, leveled that player from Eaton on the ground and allowed Hondo to pick up additional yards. What a great job on the offensive line.
Well, they faked it like they were going to give it to Krieger up the middle again, and everybody on Eaton from the safeties on in bid on that, and Hondo had tons of green in front of him.
Yeah, we saw the same thing, Ron. He plowed him.
So now Hondo will set up under center again. Turn around, hand it off to Krieger off the left side. Krieger will jump across the 45-yard line for a couple, maybe 3.
Remember, this drive started at the Brush 20-yard line, actually at the 13-yard line after the penalty. So they have now traveled 44 yards, and this is typical Brush Beet Digger football, and I think they're now back into the rhythm of the game, even though they're down 7-0 as we approach the 1-minute mark here, the opening quarter from CSU Pueblo.
2 receivers now split out to either side. It's Cardenas and Schwink. Hondo under center, Moriarty tight end to the right. Hondo drops straight back now. He rolls wide. He's had Schwint to the right. He's going to throw there now through late, but he still got him on the sideline. That's a catch for Caden Schwint. Caden Schwint was open for what felt like an hour.
Yes.
And Hondo, I'm like, it's hard to not yell down there, throw it.
And it's a gain of 16 to the 27, and the Beet Diggers are that much closer to being in the red zone. And you're right, that was a late read there by Hondo, but luckily Caden Schwint can disappear very easily because he's not the tallest kid.
Yep. That's the second time I've seen him do that. The first time was last week trying to put that game against Severance away. He came up with a big catch almost at the same spot, about the 40-yard line. They're inside the 30 now, driving against Eaton. Turn around, hand it off to Wellen off the left side. Wellen's got to get around the edge. He does, and then he gets tripped up at the 25. Picks up 3 yards on his 3rd carry of the game.
Dominic Ontiveros was looking to put on a block, but had he done so, I think it would have been a block in the back or something. So he just let the play ensue, and it looks like the Beet Diggers might take this down to the final seconds here and not even snap it for the second quarter.
2-second difference between game clock and play clock. They're going to come up to the line right at the 25-yard line. Schwint's going to go out to the right. Cardenas should swing back to the left. 3 seconds here. They're going to run a play. Fake the sweep. Give it up the middle to Jace. And Krieger gets across the 20-yard line. And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. When we come back, Brush will be in the red zone to start the second. We'll take a quick timeout right here on 1010 KSIR, KSIR.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Welcome back in, Beet Digger football fans. Tyler Carmen, Ron Elbow, John Beltran with you tonight from CSU Pueblo. Start of the second quarter, 19-yard line. Handoff up the middle. Cesar back in the game. Did he get across off the right side? And they're going to mark him down at the 1. That play happened so fast. Who knew where the ball was? They faked it to Wellen off the right. Hondo faked the rollout to the left. And Cesar the whole time had it. He gets 19, and Brush looking to score.
He got 18. He was at the 19, but he was almost got the 19. Yep. Ron thought he had the 19 because Ron almost came out of his shoes right there. But anyway, the Beet Diggers down 7-0, but they are knocking on the door. They have traveled 86 yards on this drive. They need just one more, and I think we know where the ball is going right now, Tyler.
Yep, Cesar still in the game. He's a running back behind Hondo. Nope, they give it to Wellen off the right side, and Wellen didn't get there.
Yeah, they set up to run just a basic 24 dive with Wellen that time, knowing that Eaton would probably be keying on Cesar that time. My choice would be a bootleg at this time. They're going to key on him. It's the same motion with the backs in the backfield, although Hondo takes the ball and scores.
I'd even take a quarterback sneak, just push him across.
Well, Tyler has referred to him as Coach Albo on more than one occasion.
I have.
Whether it's high school football or third-grade football.
Yeah. The Hondo under center here. I take that back. Don't sneak it. Eaton's defense looks stacked. Cesar knows off the right side. Drags an Eaton defender across for Brush's first score of the game.
Why do they try to tackle him high? They grabbed him high, and Cesar just runs right through him. That's not the way to get Cesar to the ground. A 1-yarder countering the 3-yarder from Ethan Flores, and now the Beet Diggers are an extra point away from Eric Gable-Risch, who's been a money kicker this year. And, kicking really helps. We had Brandon Marquez get 3 field goals today for Fort Morgan, and Gable-Risch has been spot on for Brush.
Good snap, good hold. Kick is up and good. First Brush score of the game brought to you by Western Engineering Consultants. Engineering consulting services for all your projects. Strong commitment to your clients' needs. Set them apart. Get your projects started the right way with Western Engineering Consultants. I told Ron before the game, we were talking about if it's a close game, it'll come down to a field goal. And I said, no, extra points is probably what it'll come down to.
And one of the more important stats, too, the Brush Beet Diggers use up almost 6 minutes of time on that clock.
Yep.
That is the key right there. You use that time up, you score points, you keep the ball out of the other team's hands.
You know why I say extra points? This just reminds me. It brings back kind of a painful memory, but my senior year we lost in the semifinals to Liberty Stratton. Liberty Stratton had to go to High Plains for the title game. High Plains scored more touchdowns than Liberty Stratton and lost that game.
And those extra points are 2 points.
Yep.
With the kicks at six-man football.
Yep.
Well, keep in mind, Ron, you mentioned a tie, but 71 of the 87 yards on this drive were on the ground. They had the 16-yard pass to Caden Schwint, and that is typical and vintage Brush Bee Digger footballs they displayed on that drive. Now it's time to play defense, and as long as you win the battlefield position now, because they have not had good field position at any point in this game, and yet they're deadlocked at 7.
Gable Risch from the 40, he's kicking to the north now. He pooches it, lands at about the 25-yard line. Eaton's got to kind of gather it up, pick it up. Wellens coming from behind. He went for the strip there. Didn't get it, but still dropped the return man. That's a gain of maybe 1 yard for Eaton's return, and now Eaton will have to go basically the length of the field.
Austin Martinez, the return man, did not see Wellen, and you're right, Tyler. I thought he was going to strip him. He went high.
He brought that right arm down. I mean, that's what you're taught to do.
Well, and he was just not going for the strip. He went for the tackle, too. Sometimes you just go for the strip, and you get sloppy with your mechanics. Not there for Kyle Wellen.
So Walker Martin will try his offense back out. They'll go shotgun set here. 2 receivers, 1 receiver to either side, 2 running backs to either side. They give it to number 45 up the middle, spins. Brush having a hard time getting him to the ground. Krieger's going to come and drop him at about the 39-yard line. Give him about 8 yards.
Yeah, that's Ryan Dirksen. You got to get him low. He's a heck of an athlete. Well, you got to get everybody low, but especially somebody that big and strong. That could have been a 2 or 3 yard gain. Instead, it's 2nd and 2 for Eaton at their own 34-yard line.
So now 2nd and 8. They give it to Dirksen again. Krieger met him at the 35-yard line. They should be stopped short of the first there. I think it should only be 1 yard. For big number 45, it is.
Now Caden Castro checks in for Dominic Arntaveros. Give him a break since he's playing both sides of the ball also. Give him a little break.
3rd and short here. 3rd and looks like less than a yard. They're going to go pistol set with a fullback to the right and a running back behind. Walker, low snap here. They give it to Ryder True. Ryder True's going to jump across for the first down. That should be 2 yards for number 44.
Well, that was a heck of a play by the quarterback, Walker Martin. That was not a good snap. It was low and around his ankles, but he caught that very cleanly, and that's the product of being an excellent baseball player, which he is.
Yep. Eaton doesn't even bother to huddle here. Everybody gets the play from the sideline.
Deadlocked at 7 here with under 9.5 to go before the break.
2 split out right, 1 left, tight end to the left. Pistol set again for Martin. Martin takes the snap. He's looking center. Now he's looking to his right. He's rolling to his right. Giving chase to Stegner. Stegner can't get him. Here comes Cole Curtis. Caden Schwint makes him turn upfield, and Martin will slide at the 50-yard line. Give him about 12 and a first. That's Martin. That's really good coverage downfield by the Beat Digger secondary, and then just not being able to contain Martin.
Well, I know, and Stegner on that play right there, he is responsible for that quarterback on that outside head. He just stepped up and not tried to dive at the last minute. Maybe it's a little bit, he secures the tackle there, but when he gets in his feet, he's gone. That kid's gone.
Just shy of the 50 here. There was a false start, surely, but it's a bad snap anyway to Walker Martin, and he's got to fall on it way back at the 40. That helps Brush as they lose about 8 yards.
Yeah, that's better than a false start because instead of 1st and 15, now you have 2nd down and 18 at the 40. They're right up to the line of scrimmage, so the Bee Diggers have got to be ready defensively, even though they're not going to run a play here for probably another 10 seconds.
They got to flip the field, go 40-yard line to 40-yard line for a first. It's still only 2nd down. 2 split out left, a tight end to the left. 1 split out right. Pistol set for Martin. He's looking right. Takes the snap. He looks left, drops straight back. Now he's going to roll a little bit to his left. He's going to look deep, fire it dead center across the field. The ball's nearly picked, but it's batted down. Good defense there by the Brush secondary. Caden Schwint nearly could have had the deflection.
That's coverage by the Cadens down there. Caden Moriarty on the deep pass there, knocks it out of his hand, doing exactly. They know that coming into this game, he's their big play threat from Eaton, and they're going to go deep with him, Grable, any chance they get. And I know that they had to keep that in mind and make sure they have deep coverage so nothing gets over the top of them.
Walker Martin throws a really, really pretty ball. That's something I thought last year when they came to Brush in warm-ups, and then they didn't throw it a lot. But in warm-ups, I thought, man, this guy's going to throw all over the field today. 2 split out left, 1 to the right. Martin pistol set again, drops straight back. Here comes the blitz from Schwint. They tried to throw a screen play to Flores, and Jace Krieger was all over it. And they lose about another 4 yards on that attempted screen, and Eaton's definitely going to punt this away.
Yeah, 4th and 21, and that was read perfectly. Ron, that's called assignment football right there.
Exactly. That's called here comes the boom, because right there he was going to get hit. Great fraud. The defense is just doing a phenomenal job, and we know that from the beginning of the year to right now, this defense is what's been the core of this team right now, and they're showing it on this drive.
Joe Rosenbrock has done an absolutely fantastic job this year, and a little bit of a homecoming for him. There's a big national championship banner over there, and your defensive coordinator, Joe Rosenbrock, was a part of that as we got whistles here right before the snap. It's a timeout, I think, by Eaton.
And let me tell you, Tyler, that was a heck of a year for the Rosenbrock family because on November 22nd of 2014, Ron was on the sidelines. Brush defeated Ken Denver 14-6. And then it was, I believe, 3 weeks later when CSU Pueblo won the national championship. And I think Joe was a junior that year because he graduated 2011 from Brush. So the Rosenbrocks were traveling every week.
That was a good year for that family.
Yeah,
to say the least.
Yeah, and it just keeps on going because now they've got Joe here coaching. Mom and Dad just gives them one more reason to be out on the football field on a Friday night.
Yep.
But let me tell you, the way Joe Rosenbrock is coaching, he's got the makings of head coaching material.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Cade Schwint will jog all the way back inside his own 20. Grable stands at the 20-yard line for Eaton.
Yeah, this is 4th and 21, even though that looks like I have a 3-receiver set.
Yep, to the left. That good punt here by Grable. Gets it all the way down, bounces just shy of the 20. Schwint will pick it up, and he gets dropped immediately. He might even have lost a couple yards.
Lost about 2 yards. He ended up at the 15-yard line and picked it up at the 17, went back 2 yards. Once again, we're starting inside the 20-yard line in the second quarter.
That's a tough play for Schwint. I mean, if he doesn't go ahead and catch it, probably ends up inside the 10 or maybe in the 5. So he went ahead and picked it up and tried to make something of it.
Well, if they can duplicate what they just did, 7:14 on the clock, tied at 7 in this 2A state final. They eat up 5 or 6 minutes, whether they score or not. Eaton's not going to have much time, and Brush gets a second-half kickoff.
You know, I said that the past couple weeks. I'm like, oh, here's Brush's chance to really eat up some clock going to halftime. And then you know what they did?
They rip off a big play.
Yeah, they had about a 60-yard touchdown run. Cesar absolutely stiff-armed a man into the ground. They give it to Krieger now on this first down play. Krieger gets about 5 across the 20-yard line.
Well, they'll take that, a 2nd and 6 here, just running behind his right guard and tackle. And that's all the B-Diggers need to keep that Eaton offense off the field. But with the way the defense has played here recently, it's not going to phase them if the Eaton offense is on the field. But give that Brush defense a break, even though many players go both ways.
Now Hondo under center. They'll split a man out to either side. 2 running backs behind him. Turn around, hand it off to Krieger off the right side. Krieger trying to catch the edge. Ryder True's going to drag him down. I think he still gained maybe 3.
Yep.
Should be bad.
It's 3rd and 3 before he nearly got around that left defensive end. Ryan Dirksen is out there for Eaton, and again, he's strong and athletic. He had that big run where he broke about 2 or 3 tackles and carried about 3 B-Diggers for only 9 yards. But now this is critical for Brush. You got to get a first down here because it's 3rd and 3. If not, Eaton could get the ball right around the 40-yard line.
Even if they don't get it, I say go ahead and go for it on 4th again. Why not? And I think Coach Schwint wants his own first timeout. Have our first Brush timeout of the game, brought to you by Greg Mullen of State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, Mullen and his team are there to make the insurance world easy for you. Call them today at 842-4555.
Yeah, and this is a good time for him to call a timeout. Get a chance to sit over there and talk. I know he's got the offensive coordinator up in the stands or up in this booth that can see things. Relay it back down to coach and give him a chance to kind of figure out what they think is going to work here, right? Against this defense. I know. The offense has done a good job. They've ran the ball when they need to, but this is going to be a crucial play right now in this series.
Another one of those bootlegs would look really nice right here. Eaton's defensive line is just raring to go. Their linebackers creep up. Might suck everybody in and then roll Hondo out. Hondo's got some speed. They flip Cardenas to the left now. Your swing back. Hondo's going to fake the handoff, throw it across the field to Cade Moriarty. Moriarty makes the catch at the 30-yard line. That's a first down. First pitching catch from Hondo to his favorite target.
They needed 3. They got 6. Sorry about that, Tyler. That's all they needed, just 3-4 yards, and they got 6 on the play.
Yep.
And, again, Ron, they have to stretch this field out. They did it there beautifully.
Yep. And, I got to wonder what is happening with Cesar because he's not been back in the game at running back. I see him on the sidelines right now talking with the trainer, so hopefully it's nothing bad.
He was there for 1 or 2 plays, and that was it.
Turn around, fake the handoff to the side. They give it to Krieger up the middle. Krieger gets to the 35. 5-yard carry for number 34. And with Ty Griffith being out and now Cesar uncertain if he's coming back, you got to imagine that number 34 is going to kind of tote the rock the most here for the Beat Diggers.
Well, and we've talked about it all year long. John said it too, next man up, and that's the next man up. So he's been waiting for this time to play in this game, and that's exactly what he's got to do.
But that next man up is a pretty good talent there. Yes. We know that Cesar is supreme, but Jace Krieger is somebody to be reckoned with.
Let's see if they give it to him again on second down. They give it to Wellen off the right side. Wellen's going to bowl his way across the 40. That's another 5 yards and a first down for the Brush Beat Diggers as the clock ticks under 5 minutes, 4:50 to go in the second quarter.
And working on a 2-minute drive here and 6 plays in 2 minutes for Brush, exactly what they wanted to be doing.
Inching closer to the 50-yard line.
Well, at the very least, if Brush does not get into the end zone, Eaton is not going to have a lot of time, even though we just run 3 plays here, because they picked up 2 first downs on this drive that started deep in their own territory.
They stick with the same formation. Moriarty tight end to the left. Cardenas will swing back to the left, turn around, hand it off to Krieger up the middle. Krieger is going to get about another 4. Stop shy of the 45-yard line. 9th carry on the night for Jace Krieger.
That's the only thing without Cesar in there. Kyle Wellen can certainly break one, but Cesar has been the big game breaker, and he's walking around the sideline there at the 35-yard line, and there's nobody with him, so I'm not sure. And maybe he's just going to sit out this drive to see if he can fully recover before going back into the game. But at some point, the Beat Diggers cannot continue doing this and get into the end zone. They're going to need a big play on this drive if they want to break the 7-7 tie.
Hondo under center again, turn around, fakes the handoff. He's going to roll to his right. He's got Ontiveros in front of him. Hondo's got a sidestep. Hold on to the ball as he tries to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he gets one. Turning absolutely nothing into a little bit of something is number 12, and I think he did pick up about a yard.
And that time on the bootleg, the linebackers filled perfectly for Eaton there to slow that game down. There's nowhere he had to run. I mean, it's got to be a quick hitter, and they were right there in his face.
You look at Eaton's sideline, I mean, they are able to sub guys in and out on every single play.
Beat Diggers have 2 timeouts remaining as they slowly walk up to the line of scrimmage on this 3rd down and 5 at their own 45, make it 3rd and 6.
Clock ticks under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Cardenas comes in motion right to left. Hondo drops straight back. Cardenas comes across the middle. Hondo's got to do some dancing there. He throws it to Cardenas. Cardenas catches it inside the 45-yard line. He jumps across the 45, gets maybe a couple.
Yeah, just a gain of 1, but let me tell you, that could have been a 7-8 yard loss, and Hondo just made something out of nothing, but the Beat Diggers will have to punt. The good news, you get off a decent punt here from Moriarty. And if Moriarty gets off a nice punt with about 2 minutes to go, Eaton will have the ball. Not so good field position.
7-7 is your score. Coming down on 2 minutes here. It'll be at about 2 minutes when he punts this thing. Return men are standing just inside their own 20. Moriarty standing at his own 35. A little bit of a line drive here. This ball lands at the 15, takes a good brush bounce, and that ball is going to go out inside the 10-yard line. Yeah, the ref walks up to the 11. Let's see exactly. Yep, they're going to spot it right at the 11. So a good punt there by Caden. Keep it out of the hands of the return man. And that pins Eaton deep inside the 20-yard line with 1:55 to go.
All right, that punt was not good. It was great. 43-yard punt with no return on the sideline. That was almost a coffin corner there by Moriarty. And now you might want to think about taking timeouts on defense because you got 2 timeouts remaining. If Eaton doesn't pick up a first down.
Well, and Eaton's probably going to want to throw it. So if you can cause some incompletions here and not have to burn your timeouts, that's even better. They go bunch to the left. They're going to run a pitch play that way. Flores making men miss.
Ball.
Well, and ball, did that ball come out?
Yep.
Brush sideline goes nuts.
Ivan Cadenas recovers it, I believe. Ivan has it in his hand. If I saw that correctly, Ivan's got it. It was
the
stripped.
ref motions, and it is beat digger ball. Flores got a pretty good gain there, about 8 yards, and then I think it was Welland that come and knocked it out, right?
I think so. I think he stripped it. Then Ivan jumped on it. And talk about a break. Well,
yes.
You commit a turnover in the red zone.
Didn't need any incompletions, didn't need any timeouts, and Brush has got the ball at Eaton's 19-yard line with 1:46. If you're Eaton, you're thinking that is exactly what we didn't want to happen.
And that's that defense all year long. Opportunistic, physical, just pursues to the ball. They got 11 guys at the ball every single time.
So now Hondo trot his offense back onto the field. He fakes the handoff. He's looking across the middle of the field. He's got Cardenas. Oh, that ball nearly picked off, went through Cardenas' hands. He took a shot. Well, the ball landed in the hands of Trent Salberg, and he can't hold on to it either for Eaton.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, Sessat is back in there. That's the good news. He set out that one possession, but that throw was a little bit high, but certainly very catchable.
Yep. And I think we need a new game ball is what the refs are saying here. Oh, they never swapped the Eaton ball out for the Brush ball.
No.
Yeah, one is considerably lighter than the other. Much lighter. It's kind of like the cookies that Brian and I had on the way back. One was a chocolate chip. The other was like this dark macadamia or something like that. You could clearly tell that, it was excellent.
You guys are making me hungry.
Nice texture. Well, you got a 2nd down and 10 at the 19. The Beat Diggers looking to break this 7-7 tie.
Hondo under center. Moriarty's tight end to the right. They got a man split out either side. Give the handoff to Hinojos off the left side. He gets maybe 2 or 3, maybe 2. And Hinojos stays in the game. He got kind of wrapped up there. We don't know if it's a leg, a shoulder, an arm, or anything. Clock winding down, 1:20 to go in this first half. Score still tied up at 7. Brush threatening inside the red zone.
Well, you got to look for Moriarty here. I know he might get double teamed, but he's your big man now on this 3rd and 8.
Cardenas comes in motion right to left. Hondo's going to drop straight back. He's going to throw a fader out to Cardenas. Cardenas, that's got to be PI. That's got to be PI. And it's not. There was no play made on the ball at all by the Eaton defensive back. The pass ball is incomplete, but Cardenas never had a chance in the world to catch that because he was draped from the time he crossed the goal line.
I believe it was pass interference. However, Ivan did not sell that well. He kept going. You got to stop there and let the defender run into you, and then you fall, and that would have been pass interference, but he kept going, and the ball hit him on the back of the helmet. Now, Eric Gable-Risch, it'll be a straightaway 35-yard field goal, and this is not that easy. It is straightaway, but he needs some leg on this one.
Snap down, good hold. That kick, is it going to get there? It doesn't. It falls short. Gable-Risch.
That's a wasted opportunity for Brush, and quite frankly, the reason that I mentioned that is because his extra point was not kicked with authority.
No.
And that one was not either, but he does have the leg to make the 35-yarder, but for some reason, a little bit too much finesse on that because it was straight enough.
But like he put a little too much into making sure it was straight.
Right, and it went underneath the crossbar, and now with 52 seconds to go,
Eaton will get it back at the 20-yard line.
Yep.
I'll have to relay that back to a golf swing. He, all year long, has been a nice, smooth follow-through on his swing, and that time he chopped it, and it's just not the ordinary thing for him. So, as a result, the missed field goal.
Eaton comes out 3 wide, 2 right, 1 left. They hand it off to Flores up the middle. Flores. That's not Flores, is it? Can't tell. Cole Curtis drags him down after a gain of 9. Dirksen.
I'd look for them to try to go deep here, down to Grable here at the bottom of our screen, or near side of the field.
Same formation here, 3 wide. They're going to throw a screenplay out to number 10. He gets across the 40-yard line, but he stays in bounds. I think Eaton's going to call a timeout. They do. Yep. That pass is completed to Austin Martinez for the first down.
And that was awful close on the coverage there. Ivan Cardenas came up to stop that, and he got a little bit of a push in the back from the other receiver, which is Grable. And I thought for just a second there that might have been an illegal block in the back, but referees didn't see it that way.
Now, what are you thinking now? We're tied at 7, and quite frankly, Brush should probably be in the lead based on that last one. And the touchdown for Eaton was a red zone drive while the Beat Diggers had to go 87 yards.
Yeah, so, it's just It's these are tough games. This is traditional games between Brush and Eaton. I've been involved in a lot of them, and this is just how we battle with these guys, and it's going to be exciting the second half.
Well, and it's about turnovers. Can you not turn the ball over, and then when you cause a turnover, can you take advantage of it? Eaton did that. Brush couldn't do it. So they come out now, 1st and 10 from Eaton's 41-yard line. They go 3 wide, 2 to the far side. They're on the near hash. Grable's the one-man split out to the right. Schwintz in coverage. Pistol set for Walker. He's looking left. He goes across the middle, threw it behind him. Hondo nearly had a chance. That pass falls incomplete to the tight end.
Yeah, that was Tate. He's their big play guy when it comes to tight end work right there. That's the guy they'd like to get the ball to in the middle of the football field.
He looks like he's a tank to try and bring down. So incompletion stops the clock at 20 seconds. 2nd down now. Same formation. Martin takes the snap. He keeps looking left. He looks that way to begin here. Now he goes back to the right. He's going to throw it deep. Schwint breaks it up, as does Moriarty. I was waiting to make sure nobody's going to throw a flag on that one.
Well, actually, Moriarty's the one that broke it up.
Yeah, he did.
One-on-one with Schwint. He had no shot at that. He's not a very tall defensive back, and Moriarty saved the day.
Yep.
If not, that's a 1st down and 10 at about the 13-yard line.
That play took 8 seconds off.
Yeah.
So now it's 12 seconds to go. 3rd down.
And the Beat Diggers had no pressure on the quarterback whatsoever.
No, Martin able to stand in the pocket forever. Same formation, 3 wide. 2 left, 1 right. Takes the snap. They fake the bubble screen. Martin wants to roll out to the right. He's going nowhere as Cole Curtis drops him for no gain. And Eaton's just going to lick their wounds and head into halftime tied 7-7 with your Brush Beat Diggers. We'll take a quick timeout, gather our stats, come back with your halftime show right here on 1010 KSIR, KSIR.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Eaton's going to kick off north to south. That means Brush, if there is any breeze at all, they'll have it at their backs in the 4th quarter. And for what it's worth, Coach Schwint was over there talking to number 28, Cesar Hinojos, gave him a tap on the helmet. I think that means you're good to go.
We haven't seen much in the return game yet on either side, but there hasn't been much. Let's see if, we know Caden Schwint has game-breaking speed, but he's got to get in the open.
Yep, him and Wellen stand at the 5-yard line.
And he's another with game-breaking speed. Wellen had a nice long touchdown run against Severance.
That he did.
And they're going to line up on the right hash mark here with the Reds.
Waiting on the clock to run all the way down. There's 10 seconds now. I guess we're going to wait. Both teams ready and willing.
And, also looking back to this facility, the nice thing about it, they've got a big screen and the game is up live, so it's just like if you're at a college game, live college game or a professional game, you're able to watch the game on the field as well as the big screen, so pretty cool.
John mentioned our sponsors, High Plains Bank, Morgan Community College, Premier Farm Credit, Bank of Colorado, and B&B Appliance. Thankful for them for putting in their ads for this season.
And all other sponsors you hear during the break as well.
Yep, can't do it without you. Finally, ready to kick off the second half. Eaton will give it to Brush to start here. Flores runs up, kicks a line drive. It's going to bounce at the 5. Wellen's just not even going to try and let it. He's just going to let it roll into the end zone for a touchback. That was smart. That was like trying to field one of those one-hoppers standing at third base. Wellen smartly just lets it go right by him, and Brush will take over at the 20-yard line to kick off the second half.
And we do have Cesar coming back out into the lineup with Hondo in the backfield as well as Krieger and I believe Kyle Wellen. So they're going to come out in that full house back.
I don't know why I'm going to bother sitting. That's just silly. That's just silly.
We always try it, but it never works out.
Always. I made it the whole first half. These seats are comfy. It helps. They'll go power set here. 3 running backs behind Hondo, under center. 2 quarters for a state title. Handoff off the right side. That's Wellen. Wellen gains about 7. They fake the handoff up the middle to Krieger.
Man, he's got speed to burn on the outside, man. Once he got to the outside, if there wasn't an Eaton defender out there, he would have had a first down. But it's a 2nd down and 3. That's what Brush wants. I mean, they want a sustained drive, get into the end zone, and leave it up to their defense to win this title.
Schwent's going to go out left here. Cardenas is going to go out right. Cesar and Kyle Wellen behind Hondo under center. Fakes a snap, fakes a handoff to Wellen, give it to Cesar. Cesar's got the first and a little more. Good start to the second half for number 28. Picks up 4 yards and a first.
You know, when you're that little kid, you try to grab around the waist or around upper thigh, and they just keep carrying you and carrying you. That's what Cesar did. That should have been a 3-yard gain. Instead, it went for 5 and a first down.
They go back to that big power set. 3 running backs, Krieger, Hinojos, Wellen. Right to left, turn around, hand it off to Wellen. Nope, they faked it. They give it to Wellen on that end around again. He gets upended, but he picks up, I think, 4.
Yeah, nice trip up there, nice ankle tackle there. But still, even there, the Bee Diggers pick up.
They got room to run.
3 yards.
They have room to run. They're softening up that Eaton defense. Eaton doesn't really know where the ball's going. Brush forever has done a great job with the ball fakes. Kind of relying on that here in the second half. Turn around, hand it off to Cesar off the right side. He bounces to the right. Flag flies after the tackle.
Yeah, that was an early hold against Brush on the right side of the line. That's going to drive him back to about the probably the 25-yard line, because that's how Cesar got free.
Yeah.
There was either the right guard or tackle definitely held, and now the Bee Diggers might be in a passing situation because the ball's back at the 25-yard line. That's a second down and 17 for Brush.
Yeah, going to remain second down. 10:23 to go in the third quarter.
And we're deadlocked at 7.
Austin Sisk runs in with the play. He'll go out to the right.
Look for Moriarty on this play.
Yep, he's your tight end on that left side. Hondo's going to fake the pass and try to run a little draw to Wellen, and that didn't go anywhere. Wellen might have lost one.
Yeah, that was not sold well. In fact, you cannot sell it that quickly. You can sell it that quickly, and it was sold very quickly. And Ron, I think you and I could see it from here that was going to be a draw immediately. Yeah. And you've got to sell it a lot better than that. Now you got a 3rd and 18 from the 24, and neither team has really been proficient in passing today, but you're going to need a big one for Brush, even if you're going to get close to the first down marker.
You need to get to the 42-yard line for a first. They're back inside the 25. And Brush is going to burn their first time out of the half.
This is 1010 KSIR. Brush, Fort Morgan, Waldona, and KSIR.com will keep it right here. And now the Bee Diggers are down to 2 timeouts. Tyler, that could have some implications later in the game.
Yeah, you don't want to burn those that early. Timeout brought to you by Greg Mullen State Farm. Insurance, like a good neighbor, Mullen and his team are there. Make the insurance world easy for you. Call them today at 842-4555. Yeah, you hate burning timeouts that early. And on a 3rd and forever, I know you want to get your play right, but is Coach Schwent thinking, I really don't want to give the ball back yet? Maybe he's thinking he's got 2 plays to get this.
Well, in a low-scoring game, a penalty is not a turnover, but it kind of is.
It really feels like it. A 10-yard holding call, especially for a Brush offense that doesn't break big gains all that often.
3rd and 18. It's a long way to go at their own 24.
Hondo drops straight back, goes across the middle. Cardenas makes the catch right at the first down marker. I think he's got it.
Yep.
Cardenas came streaking across the middle of the field. He got popped in the back. I worried about him holding on to it, but they're not moving the chain. There they go. They finally moved the chains.
Yards.
Yeah, 18 to be exact. They went from the 24 to the 42.
Oh, that's a big play there.
They needed 18. They got 18.02 there. I mean, it was that close.
Yeah, that was close. And Cardenas, credit, taking a shot in the back, had to go up to get that.
That could be a game changer here in the third quarter.
That is a huge play. That took, you can feel it, that took the wind out of this Eaton crowd. We're right above them. Hondo will turn around, hand it off to number 28. Cesar breaks across the middle. He gets across the 50-yard line, still dragging Eaton. It takes most of the Eaton secondary to drag number 28 down. And do you gain 20 yards on that?
He got 15 from the 42 to the 43, and now the Bee Diggers, which started at their own 20-yard line, have traveled 37 yards.
Into plus territory now. 8:30 to go, third quarter, Brush driving.
I mean, I'd love to see the difference in yardage, but we know that Brush is got a lot more yardage here in this
yeah.
game than Eaton does. They already had an 87-yard drive earlier, trying to go 80 here, but need 43 more.
Hondo turn around and give it to Cesar again. Cesar might have got one. He gets dragged all the way back.
Well, that's a product of running the same play twice in a row.
Yeah.
And I think Eaton was definitely ready for that. And
I do believe Coach Mills' philosophy is run until they stop it.
Without a doubt. Oh, yeah. It's not about being unpredictable. You can be predictable if they can't stop you, but after a while, if they can stop you, then you've got to mix it up a bit.
Yep.
And Brush, I mean, for the most part, they've done a good job of that. They've really opened up their playbook for the most part. They've had some nice pass plays.
They've eaten up almost 4 minutes and 20 seconds of game clock here to start the second half on a 2nd and 9 for the 42 of Eaton.
Cardenas here, swing back to the left, and we've got flags fly again.
Or did we have a second timeout? Nope, it's delay of game.
Yep.
And you got to be better than that.
Yeah.
I mean, that is inexcusable of your Brush, because we're talking about the state championship game, a team on a 9-game winning streak, and at this point, I mean, you cannot make that mistake. You got to get the plays in and out.
Against a team on a 12-game winning streak, you
Right.
especially cannot.
Actually-
this team has not lost this year.
Actually, it's a 15-game winning streak because they won their final 3 last year.
Yep, that's a great point. Final 3, including a state title. Hondo is going to fake the handoff. He's going to drop straight back. He's going to roll to his right. He's just going to throw it out of bounds. That's smart. I'll take it.
Well, there's no play there.
No,
He's got
no play.
2 or 3 on top of him. Had to get rid of it and threw it into the Brush bench. But now it's a third down and 13
Yep.
at the, or 3rd and 14 at the 47.
Yeah, Cesar barely gained a yard on that one carry before the delay of game.
I'm going to tell you, it might not be a bad idea to run the ball. If you can pick up 6 or 7 yards here,
Yeah.
just to set up a manageable 4th and 7.
Well, and then if you do want to punt it,
right?
Moriarty's got a great – I mean, he can punt it 40 yards, no problem, pin him deep. Brush goes 2 wide out to the right. They run a little screenplay back to Krieger. Krieger cuts it up the field. He's got to go around Curtis. He gets around the 40-yard line. Drop down. He jumped forward to the 35. He's going to be about 2 yards short. That's a play we have not seen. Krieger kind of let his guy go as Hondo rolled to his right, and Hondo threw it back to him on the left, and now Krieger limping a little bit, but he's not leaving this game. Ball's at the 36-yard line. They need to get to.
Picked up about 12 yards on that play, 12 and a half on that play.
4th and 3. This is a big play. The Bee Diggers have eaten up nearly half of the third quarter clock. 6:48 to go in the third in the 2A state championship game. Deadlock at 7.
Eaton brings everybody and their dog up to the line of scrimmage. They run a pitch to Wellen around the left side. He's got the first. Surely he's got the first.
Well, that is close.
It's close, but I think he's got it. I think he got to the 32. They needed the 33.
That is real close, but he does have it. The far official.
Yep.
It's a gain of 4. He needed 3. And they ran that, gentleman, on the short side of the field.
They ran
and when you run on the short side of the field, you better get some blocking.
Yep, they did. They ran it to Eaton side. Eaton sideline went nuts. And wasn't able to stop it. Now they're going to eat half the quarter up after this play. 6:20 to go in the third.
Yeah, they're going to need at least 7 or 8 minutes in this quarter unless they turn it over.
Turn around, hand it off to Wellen up the middle. He doesn't get anything.
Picks up about one.
I'm not sure he hit the right hole there. I thought he had something to the middle, but he tried to
He did kind of bounce
cut it off to
the
his left, and
Yeah.
I think he had something in the middle had he stutter stepped. And we know that Wellen's got a nice stutter step with that shifty move he has, but it's 2nd down and 9 at the 31. And at this point, unless you're inside the 15-yard line, a field goal is not an option.
No. Cesar is in the game. Schwind's going to go out to the right. Cardenas just swing back to the right. Wellen and Hinojos behind Hondo under center. 2nd down. Hondo's going to roll right.
Cross.
Throws to Moriarty. Threw it behind Moriarty. Oh, and then Schwind makes the catch. It went off Moriarty's back of his right hand, and Schwind.
Oh, they're going to call that incomplete. That's got to be a catch. He did catch that.
Surely
They
they
did.
call it a catch. They call it a catch. I don't know if it's a first down.
No, it's a gain of 8. It'll be 3rd down and 1 at the 23-yard line. It was thrown behind Moriarty on the right side. He got a hand on it.
Usually those are picks, is what those are.
Well, and this was an offensive pick.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was not a good throw there by Hondo.
No, that was not. And he had Moriarty open. He had him open.
Well, get ready. This should be, Hinojos is right there behind him. I think this will go to Cesar, a 3rd and 1 at the 23.
3 running backs behind Hondo. They hand it off to Wellen off the right side. Wellen's got the first down and more. They give him probably 3.
Just a straight 324 dive, brush football, goo blocking, man-on-man, move him down the field.
That was a
Brush
gain
moves,
of 4.
Yep, gain of 4 and moves inside the red zone. That ball is on the nose of the 19-yard line.
Ron, how do you like this drive so far?
I love it. We are at
it's over 7 minutes.
18 plays, over 7 minutes right now.
They might eat up the whole third quarter at this rate. Hondo going to turn around, fake the handoff to Cesar. He's going to roll right. Hondo's got room to run. Hondo, stay on your feet.
Yes.
Don't be trying to hurdle guys out of bounds.
That play was made by Cesar Hinojos. He threw a huge block that allowed Maltos Garcia.
He had the fake, and he acted like it, and he went from fake ball carrier to blocker really easily. Hondo gets down inside the 15. He got to the 13-yard line, gain of 6.
Yeah, he tried to be Najee Harris.
Yeah, don't
earlier
do that.
this year against Notre Dame for Alabama.
Don't do that. Holy cow.
Wow. Clock did stop. 4:27 to go. Tied at 7 into the 3rd.
2nd down and about 4. Cesar off the right side, gains a couple.
Number 28, Cesar Hinojos.
That's Cesar's 11th carry. Leads as a team.
All right, Jason Strauss said he washed his shirt. He just wore it every game. So you guys must have been listening to the wrong thing. And actually, that was Tyler. I'm not going to throw Ron under the bus. But I did agree with you. So, Jason, I apologize.
I figured he washed it.
Yeah.
I just heard that he.
My apologies. I should never do that to Jason. I should have confirmed the audio. He said it. 3rd and 2 for the 11.
Turn around, fake the handoff. Hondo's going to look to the end zone. Stegner's open. Stegner makes the catch. In the end zone, touchdown. Rush Beat Diggers, they go up 13-7. That's a bold move on 3rd and short. And Hondo had to throw it up and over the Eaton defender. Stegner makes a great catch with 3:46 to go in the 3rd for Brush to take the lead. Beautiful. Was that 20 plays?
21 plays.
11-yard pass from Hondo to Cale Stegner, and now the extra point. That was an 8-minute and 14-second drive. 21 plays. That makes the 87-yard drive look elementary.
Exactly.
Gable Risch, a little bit of a high snap. He got it up. That looks good. It is indeed. Brush takes the lead in your 2A state title game over Eaton, 14-7 with 3:46 to go in the 3rd. Eaton hasn't touched the ball in 45 minutes of real time.
Yeah, they're awfully cold right now. It's going to be awful hard for them to get back in the groove of this football game again.
What did we say had to happen? Exactly what happened. You get the ball, you establish the line of scrimmage, you take it down the field, and there's no doubt. There's not even a close second. The biggest play of that drive was the 3rd and 14 pass to Ivan Cardenas right down the middle of the field. If not,
play.
This would have changed the entire quarter.
Cardenas able to hold on to that, getting hit in the back. That is huge. If Brush pulls off the win, we will look back on that as probably the most important play, depending on what happens in the next 15 minutes.
And I know looking at that coverage that they had that time, they had a cover 2. Perfect place for them to throw the ball right down the middle, and that's why it was wide open. This last pass play, they were never expecting to throw the ball to Stegner. Never expecting that.
The last time they ran that play was against Reg Christian a couple weeks ago, and Stegner got a push-off call that took away the touchdown he had on that play as Eaton takes the return across the 35-yard line. Besides the time where they had the ball inside the red zone, that'll be about the best starting field position Eaton's had all game.
Yeah, that was a 19-yard return by Cade Gentry, a sophomore, to the 36-yard line. And now you play defense. You win this 3rd quarter, and then you get it back. And you've got possession to start the 4th or late in the 3rd quarter. But, again, you got to make plays because, as Ron mentioned, they can throw the football. And now we have another football on the field. I guess they're switching them out.
No.
63 yards away is Eaton. It's not going to be easy for them to tie this game.
They have a receiver split out to either side, 2 running backs. Walker Martin will give it off to Dirksen. Dirksen breaks tackles well and cleans him up at the 45-yard line for an 8-yard carry.
And that was a great call for Eaton right there because that was a definite passing situation and set that they came out in, knowing that Brush would be set up for the pass, and it weakened them up, loosened up a little bit so they could run the ball.
Now they go shotgun set here.
That's a 2nd and 2.
Yep. Grable comes in motion right to left. Walker's going to keep it here off the right side. He gets across, or stop just shy of the 50-yard line, 49, give him 3 yards and a first down.
Ontiveros around the football along with Cole Curtis. But the question is, will the Bee Diggers still have the 14-7 lead going into the fourth with 2:56 to go and the clock is moving? Eaton still on their own side of the field.
Same formation here, shotgun set with 2 running backs to Martin's either side. 1 receiver split out. They're on the near hash here. They give it to Dirksen. Dirksen's going to go off the right side. Cardenas can't clean him up. He gets pushed out of bounds by Stegner as he crosses the 45.
And they might be taking advantage of either a gap or a seam or a weakness on that side for Brush because they've run it in the same direction for the last 3 plays. And that one produced 8 yards, a second down and 2 at the Brush 43.
This looks awfully familiar, that game against Rez. When Brush came out of halftime, had a long drive. I don't remember if they scored or not, and Rez came back. They had a lot of success running the ball and actually scored on their first possession. As Walker Martin here is going to get dragged down by Cesar. Shy of the first down, Cesar was not going to let him go. He held his hand for about 3 yards as Martin tried to escape him, and he couldn't get away. Instead, it's a no gain for Walker Martin and a 3rd and 2.
Well, they've changed up the defense. They brought Krieger in to play a down lineman, a tackle on the right side. So that puts Ivan Cardenas in a linebacker position where he's typically not used to playing all the time, but we'll see how the adjustment goes.
Now Dirksen will line up behind Martin in that pistol set. They fake it to True. They give a little pitch out to the right. Dirksen's got room to run. Dirksen off the right side, breaks the tackle across the 20. He's got 1 man to beat that Sis, and Dirksen is going to take it across for an Eaton Red touchdown. That was a beautiful play call on 3rd and short for Eaton.
43 yards, and the Reds draw to within 1 with 1:57 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Everybody bit on that fake to True. Everybody.
Well, again, you got to play assignment football, and the Bee Diggers needed well over 8 minutes to score, and Eaton responded in less than 2 minutes.
Yep. Biggest play of the day by far for Eaton.
And from a defensive standpoint right now with that option like it was, the outside backer on that situation, or actually strong safety, was Hondo. He bit on the inside and left that outside wide open.
The kick here up and...
Boy, did he hook it? He hooked it to the right.
He hooked it again. Instead of tying the game, Brush holds on to a 14-13 lead. I hate to bring it up, but I said it.
You did. You mentioned extra points, not field goals. And when the Bee Diggers lost the 2010 state championship game, Jesus Cardenas, who's an assistant on this team, had made 58 extra points in a row. And Ron, you remember he hit the left upright, and Olathe won that game 14-13. Brush, when they lost the 98 title game to Faith Christian, had trouble with extra points. They had to go for 2, and they lost 21-19. So Brush has felt the wrath of missed extra points, and here it's happened to the Eaton Reds.
And here's another thing, too. Just speaking of that, Jesus Cardenas is a coach on this coaching staff. And
yeah,
so
that's right,
you remember. Yeah,
right.
That's what you said,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, so he knows. He knows, absolutely. But you know what? You reestablish the momentum. You still have a 1-point lead now.
Well, and that's an opportunity you got to take advantage of.
Yeah, because now you score, you kick the extra point. Eaton needs a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, which is much tougher, obviously, than a touchdown and a PAT.
Yep. Eaton will kick it away again here. Kicks it on the ground. This ball's going to bounce out of bounds shy of the 10-yard line.
Well, it's going to be very good field position for Brush at the 35. 65 yards away, a lot closer than their 80-yard drive.
Ball placed at the 35, like John said. 1:57 to go in the 3rd. Brush holding on to a 1-point lead, 14-13. You know what Eaton did on that offensive series? They didn't throw the ball 1 time.
Nope.
Never even thought of it.
Well, they didn't need to. I mean, it was. They established the line of scrimmage there against Brush.
That's Eaton just not panicking, saying it's only 1 score.
You want possession of the ball going into the 4th quarter. You pick up a first down, you're going to have that with 1:57 to go in the 3rd, and Brush leading Eaton in this 2A championship game from CSU Pueblo, 14-13.
Welland goes split out to the right here. They give it to Cardenas. Cardenas is looking to pass. Instead, he's going to tuck it and run. That was Lance Schwint trying a little bit of trickery. They sent Welland out. Welland was triple covered. That was the only receiver Cardenas was looking for. That's the only receiver, period. And Cardenas very smartly just decided to try and run with it, and he ends up losing a couple, I believe.
That did not look well designed whatsoever. The handoff was there, but then he kind of stayed almost too close to the quarterback. Normally you roll out, and then you sell that, but that was not sold whatsoever. Now it's a 2nd down and 15 from the 30.
Hondo's going to roll out to the right. This time he's got the edge, and he skips out of bounds. Picks up what Cardenas lost plus some.
Yeah, he got 8 yards. It's 3rd and 7 at the 38, but as you mentioned, he goes out of bounds. And Eaton has a shot to get the ball before the end of the quarter. Actually got to the 39. So 9 yards, 3rd down and 6. I'm going to still be with you, Tyler. You make this a 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, and you go for it here. You've got to establish some momentum here after it was just ripped away from you following that long touchdown run of 43 yards by Ryan Dirksen.
You're right. He went out of bounds, so clock stopped at a minute 14. And Cade Moriarty's going to go split out to the left. 5 seconds to go on the play clock here. Cardenas comes in motion. Hondo's going to roll to his left. He throws it. That ball is caught by Caden Schwint. 1st down. Yvonne, you're right, Yvonne Cardenas came. He was the man in motion that came right to left and just ran kind of that little out route to this side. Hondo flicked it to him.
And a gain of 8 to the 47 on a beautifully designed play right in front of the Eaton bench. And I thought that might have sailed on Hondo a little bit, but he followed through enough. That Yvonne made the catch.
And Moriarty, did you see how much attention Moriarty got?
Yep.
Off when he was lined up at receiver here. So clock ticks under a minute in the 3rd. Hondo under center. Turn around, hand it off to Cesar. Cesar is going to get stopped shy of the 50, call it the 49-yard line, given 2.
And if you're Brush, you take this into the 4th quarter with the lead because they don't need to run a play right now. The play clock is going to start, but we're under 30 seconds to go.
Well, there's a 2-second difference.
Yep, you're right. They do have to get it off. My bad. They do have to get it off here at least with a couple of seconds to go, and this will be the final play of the 3rd quarter, barring a defensive penalty.
It's 2nd and about 8. And Brush's 49-yard line. They go Schwint split out to the left. Cardenas out to the right, turn around, hand it off to Cesar. Cesar tried the stiff arm but couldn't get around Dirksen. Dirksen drops him in the backfield for a loss. It'll bring it back to 3rd and 10. And Brush will take a 1-point lead into the 4th and final quarter. 14-13. We'll take a quick timeout. Come back with 4th final right here on 1010 KSIR, KSR.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Welcome back in, football fans of all sorts. It is exactly everything you wanted in a 2A state final game. 12-0, Eaton Reds, 10-2, Brush Beat Diggers, 14-13 lead for Brush. They have the ball to start the 4th quarter, but it's a long 3rd and 10. They're headed north to south. Hondo fakes the pitch. He's going to throw it to Moriarty. Moriarty can't make the catch. He was shy of the 1st down, but he can't make the catch. Hondo had locked it.
Oh, man, he had the ball in his hands at the 44, maybe a tad overthrown. And I think that Moriarty would have been better served trying to make a one-handed catch to get that extra reach and then use the second hand to bring it in. But once you stretch out with 2 hands, you limit the reach along the sideline, and Brush will have to punt on a 4th and 10 at their own 48-yard line. But Moriarty's an excellent punter. He just had a coffin corner close to one earlier that went out of bounds at about the 7.
He's standing at his own 37. Return men are back at the 15. Eaton gets a man through, but this ball is going to land just shy of the 20, inside the 20. Good return here for Eaton. Missed tackle there. Make sure there's no late hit flags there.
Yeah, that was close along the sideline across the 40 at about the 43.
So Eaton gives some really, really good field position to their offense here.
Well, the problem is you gave Trent Sahlberg a head start there. He had a running head start, and that's an easy 5 or 10 extra yards you get, and he made it into about a 20-yard return.
Yep.
And the Beat Diggers now leading by a point with 11:44 to go in this 2A state championship, but Eaton is at their own 43-yard line. Time for Brush to step up.
Eaton goes bunch right, 3 right to the right. They pitch it that way to Flores. Flores going to turn it up the field. Tackle made by Cardenas. Flores rolled forward for the 1st down. Give him about 12 and a 1st down. I think Eaton says, well, they can't stop our run either.
Yeah, Brush has got to come up with something special like a turnover. They can't stop them at this point.
Same formation. They give it to Flores again up the middle. Flores dancing. Picks up 9.
Yeah, the Brush
fifth
defense
carry.
almost looks tired now with a 2nd and 2 at the 36. You don't want to strip the ball here, but you've got to make a play at the line of scrimmage, and now you're going to rely on this offense to have to go down the field again because Eaton right now is in Brush territory.
Those last 2 Flores carries are his first since fumbling there early in the first half. As they go back to the passing game here, they throw a little screen play to Grable. Sisk is playing way often. Grable picks up the first down. It was only for a couple, but it's all they needed.
Yeah, he got 4 to be exact now at the 32. Pistol formation. Watch out for the B-Diggers. They're nearly moved here on the right side. And Eaton is in total rhythm right now after putting together that easy drive on their previous drive.
Trap pistol snap here. Flores is going to be met by Krieger, but he falls forward for a couple.
Well, but the B-Diggers didn't get much penetration there. They had one player that got a piece of them, but a play like that slowly developing, you could have had him for a no gain. Instead, 2nd and 7 at the 29, right up to the line of scrimmage.
They're going to pitch it to the right this time again. Should have been a hold there. Cardenas had him.
Definitely was a hold.
Well, now he gains 4 yards instead.
Yep, Flores able to push the pile on his 7th carry. You're right, picks up 4, and it's a 3rd down and 3.
Again, that's another play. It could have been 1 or 2 yards, Ron, and it went for a lot more.
Cardenas was there. He played it perfectly. They go 2 split out to the left now. That's the far side of the field. They go heavy set with a fullback. They turn around, hand it off to Flores. Flores gets nearly tripped up, but he crosses into the 20-yard line, gets across the 15 and a first down. 10 yards for number 5.
Yeah.
We had 2 Brush defenders right there on the play, both of them on the ground, and Eaton's just stacked on top of them.
And they're at the 13-yard line, trailing by 1. The Reds knocking on the door.
I think you're right. Brush looks a little gassed here as Walker Martin fakes the handoff, takes it around the right side.
Yep.
Picks up 9.
Yep, 2nd and 2.
Turn around, hand it off to Flores. Flores will go off the right side. He pushes across. And Eaton takes the lead for sure this time as they score their 3rd touchdown with 9:17 to go in this 4th quarter.
Brush looks like they're out of shape. I mean, they just could not make a play there. Either that or they're just being overpowered because that was an easy drive for the Reds, and now they're going to go for 2 because they're up 19-14 to make this a 7-point game.
They go 2 split out to the right, 1 to the left. Power back to the left. He comes in motion left to right. Martin's going to roll to his right. He's got to throw it in the back of the end zone. Overthrows him, and that is a huge 2-point failure for Eaton as it keeps Brush within striking distance 19-14 here. And that's 2 missed extra point opportunities for Eaton.
As bad as it looked for Brush, you're down 5. You've got the ball. 9:17 to go in the game. The only negative here, you have 1 timeout remaining. I believe it's 1 or 2.
I think it's 2.
2 timeouts remaining. They took that 1. And I know it's not listed on the board. Yeah, they do have the 2 timeouts remaining. It is on the board. So you're okay from that standpoint. But Eaton cannot get the ball back because the Brush defense clearly is gassed on those 2 consecutive drives.
They could never get their feet under him. That hurry-up offense, Eaton runs Brush. It doesn't really let you sub players in and out. It doesn't let you get a feel for what they're doing. And Eaton went to the air 1 time. They kept it on the ground. That's really hard if you're a defense to gain any momentum.
And that's not typical of Eaton this year. Watching film on them and watching how they've scored points, they've relied heavily on the passing game. And so be it for them right now, and that success they've had on the ground.
Ball kicked back to Brush. This one screaming towards the out of bounds. This one goes out of bounds as well, so that'll help Brush out a little bit. Went out of bounds at the 5.
So we get the ball at the 35-yard line.
This is the drive that could really dictate the entire outcome of the game. Brush had 2 chances to stop Eaton and still have the lead, and they failed both times, and Eaton has scored 12 unanswered points. A 14-7 Brush lead is now 19-14 in favor of the Reds, the defending Class 2A state champions. But plenty of time, 9 minutes to go in this game, and Brush has it at their own 35.
Gosh, and Brush had all the momentum coming out of halftime. They had that long drive. And now trying to put it away again as they give it to Cesar off the left side. That's a good run by Cesar, still going. Give him 6-7 yards.
He took a big hit at the end, but it's only 2nd down and 3. And let that clock run. If you let the clock run and Brush doesn't score with too much time, then Eaton is going to be forced to pass, hopefully into the teeth of the Brush strength in that secondary.
Yep. Coach Rosenbach can go ahead and dial up some blitzes then, too. That would be fun to watch. But Brush has got to score first. 8:42 to go, down 19-14. 4th and final. Cardenas comes in motion left to right, turn around, hand it off to Cesar. Cesar picks up the first down. Stop shy of the 50, call it 49-yard line.
And right now, as an offensive lineman, this is what you've been waiting for. If you can't dig down deep inside of your body here and say, I'm going to be taking over this game, I'm going to dominate that line of scrimmage, I don't know what else you can do, though. This is what Brush needs to do right now. They've waited for this. This is exactly where they need to be.
I would lean on number 28 as much as he's willing.
8:10 to go in the game. Eaton 19, Brush 14.
They fake it to number 28. They give it to Wellen. Wellen stopped 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
That was a misdirection running left, and there was nothing there for Brush.
They could have given it back to Hinojos as well, and he's going to stay on the ground here. Hopefully, it looks like he's not hurt too bad. Hopefully, it's just a cramp.
Yeah, but now you lose a burner there in the backfield, and that makes it a little bit easier for Eaton to defend. And Brush is going to have to throw the ball at some point with a 2nd and 12. You don't anticipate they'll pick it up this easy.
Just a cramp. He's just got a cramp. He's good. Get him some Gatorade, a little bit of water, and get back on that football field.
Yeah. Well, he'll be in there on the 3rd down play. He'll sit out for 1 play.
Get stretched out a little bit.
That play was a 37, so our fullback has to fill for the pulling guard on the right side. I don't think he got there quick enough. That's why there was so much penetration.
So now Krieger and Hinojos are going to be your 2 running backs. 2nd and 12. Cardenas is split out right. Tight end to the right. You have another man split out to the left. Hondo under center. Give it to Hinojos. Hinojos will get the couple back. But not much after that. On his 15th carry, he goes for just 2 yards, and it's going to be 3rd and long with 7:30 to go.
Well, you need 9 yards and 2 plays to do it, Ron.
You got to go bootleg. You got to go bootleg right now because they have been shutting down. They're keying on our running inside game, our trap game. They know all we've got in there is Cesar right now because Wellen's on the sidelines. This is a prime time for our right guard to pull and run a bootleg to the right and Hondo to pick up a big first down.
Stegner is also in the game. If you want to key on Moriarty, I'd be okay going that way. Hondo's going to give an end around to Jonathan Becker is in the game, and he gets dropped at the 49.
That's going to be 4th and 10. I don't know about that play call. Ryan Dirksen was in there, and you got to stretch the field, and you're stretching the field laterally, and just to get around, I don't care how fast Becker is, that's not going to do it. And I'm stunned that Brush did not pass the ball on one of those plays. And now the defense is going to have to get the ball back because it's 4th and 10. They've got 2 timeouts remaining. They're at their own 49, and there's 6.5 to go in the game. Still a chance for Brush to win this thing. But the defense has to come through with 1 stand, 1 stop. Are they going for it here?
They're going for it.
On a 4th and 10.
And Eaton's going to take a timeout.
Yep.
Wow. Well, you know what this is saying right now?
We can't stop Eaton's run.
That is exactly what it's saying. That's exactly what it's saying because Eaton had 2, quite frankly, Ron, easy drives against Brush.
Yep.
And they knew our defense has been fatigued. And like we said, we've talked about it before, some of the same guys are playing back and forth, and so it tends to wear on you. But you know what? They've conditioned like this all year long. There's no reason. They know what kind of shape they've got to be in to play in a game like this, so that's not really an excuse. They have got to find out what's going on. I would look for them to see what the defense lines up when they come out with Moriarty. If he's on this side, if he's double covered, we've got a lot of open field on the other side. I'd look for him to run a deep cross and try to catch that ball on the other side of the hash marks between the 30 and the 40, pick up a first down.
I'm with you. I mean, you go to your number 1 man at this point. I don't care who's on him.
You got to buy time for Hondo, though.
That's a good point.
You got to buy time for him. You got to let him set his feet, make a good throw. If he's going to roll that way, he's going to be rolling to his left. He's got to throw it across his body. So here's Cesar lined up at tight end.
They're confused.
Are they acting like they're confused? Play clock still at 20 seconds. They have plenty of time, and Brush is going to burn 1 of 2 of their last timeouts. They had Cesar lined up tight end. He was going to run that just a straight fly route down the right side hash.
Well, I think what happened is that they wanted that to be in a cover 3 look. That allows him to get open on the hash. They came out in a cover 2 look, so they have a guy covering there and a guy covering Moriarty on the other side, so that play's not going to work. They had to call a timeout and change it up.
Okay, so you don't want to use that second timeout, but do they have another option? They didn't have another option at that point.
Option there. And yeah, you don't change a play on the fly in high school football. It just doesn't work. So let's see what they come out again. Moriarty the last time was lined up on the far side of the field. Let's see where he's at right now.
He lines up in
same
the same
formation.
Yep, same formation.
And now they go to a cover 3 look.
Hondo goes under center, 4th down. Play clock still at 15. He drops straight back. He's got plenty of time here now. He's got to roll to his left. He's going to throw it. He tried to throw. I think it just falls incomplete. No, he was dropped. He got sacked back at the 37-yard line before he let the ball go. It's going to be incomplete anyway.
Yeah, he should have just let go of it. He should have let go of it because it's 4th down and 10. You have nothing to lose by just letting go of it. And now Eaton
somebody a chance.
Has the ball again. Brush has still got a shot, but you got to stop them once. Stop them once.
6:13 to go in the 4th. You're right, John. It's only a 5-point lead for Eaton. They haven't converted on.
Where they are really dominating Brush is those runs to the right side. Everything right. Brush cannot stop them right now. Running right.
So Martin, he's going to go under center here.
I'd watch Grable deep, near side right here.
Turn around and give it up to Flores. Flores is met in the hole there. Good tackle by Moriarty as he came up and met him right at the 45-yard line. It's Cole Curtis now. Yep, he's going to get up.
Well, it's a gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. And the clock is now under 6 minutes to go in the 2A state championship. Eaton 19, Brush 14 from CSU Pueblo.
Now they'll go back to that pistol set. They give it to True. Ryder True. Ooh, he had kind of bobbled the ball there. But he picks up decent yards. He gets within 2 of the first.
But again, the Beat Diggers with some poor tackling there. That should have been a 2 or 3 yard gain. He got 5 because Brush stayed way too high.
Yeah, they just stood straight up on the snap of the ball. You're not getting any penetration whatsoever on this line of scrimmage.
Eaton goes into their hurry up here. Brush showing blitz. They give it to Flores. Flores. Oh, he had him in the backfield, but Flores shifty. He gets the 1st down, picks up 4 yards.
To the 36, it looked like somebody on Brush over-pursued
and
ran right by Ethan Flores. If not, they would have stopped him.
Now Dirkson's going to come into the game with 5:12 to go.
Well, the left guard pulled down, and as a defensive lineman, you just got to close a little bit and look for somebody right there, and he kind of got washed.
There's still a shot here for the Beat Diggers. Got to make 1 play.
Yep.
Or 3 plays.
Eaton's nowhere near field goal range here. They give it to Ryder True. True around the right side. Picks up 4, maybe 5.
He got 4 to the 32, 2nd down and 6, but again, they'll take that. In fact, they don't want to go too long of a distance unless it's a touchdown, which would put the game out of reach. Again, Brush is down to 1 timeout, 2nd down and 6 of the 32. We're approaching the 4.5-minute mark, and the Beat Diggers are showing no signs defensively of being able to stop this team. And this is a contrast to what happened in the first half when they did stop Eaton.
Yep. Eaton looks like they made some really nice second half adjustments here. Pistol set again for Walker Martin. Gives it to his big man off the left side. They stopped him short. Give him 4 yards. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Yeah, Sessut made the hit, but again, there's not enough Beat Diggers around the football.
No, when your linebackers are making you're deep past your linebackers and your safeties are having to come up and make tackles, it's not good. Your defensive line is not controlling the line of scrimmage, not getting hands on those linemen, and they're just doing whatever they want to do with our D-line.
So I lied. It's 3rd and 2, not 3rd and 1. Watch for the hard count. 3:45 to go. 3rd and short. Right guard moved a little bit.
And it's letting the play clock run down to 5 seconds, then they'll get it snapped.
Take the snap, give it to Dirksen off the left side. Cesar couldn't hold the edge. Dirksen gets the 1st down. Cole Curtis finally drags him down at the 10-yard line.
The gain of 17 for Ryan Dirksen, and they didn't run right that time. They ran left.
No.
And the Beat Diggers are in danger here, falling behind by double digits.
Need a turnover.
Well, that's the only thing because the clock is now at 3:15 and running. So the very best case scenario is that Brush holds them. They get the ball with about a minute to go and only 1 timeout. But they've got to keep it at 19-14 or 22-14 at the worst.
Going to wind all the way down under 3 minutes before they snap it. Still 10 seconds on the play clock. Walker snaps it, gives it to Dirksen off the right side. He cuts it up the field. Dirksen gets down just shy of the 5.
Now they'll backtrack it to the 7. Got a little break there.
Yep.
It's a gain of 4. 2nd down and 6 to go, and Brush cannot use a timeout.
No.
But if it gets to 4th down, they'll certainly use a timeout. The question is, can they even get it to a 4th down? Because their 3rd down carries are 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2.
Yep.
And Eaton's using up the clock. It's great clock management. They're just taking it down as far as they possibly can, not leaving anything on that board for Brush.
Be 2 minutes here by the time this play is over. This play's going nowhere. Oh no.
Yeah, Dirksen's got a first
Dirksen.
down on the counter to the
I
1.
thought they stopped it in the backfield. I didn't know Dirksen was the one that had it.
Yep.
Picks up 5 yards down to the 1 yard line.
Well, I really was convinced Brush was going to win this game, and they certainly were looking that way in the 3rd quarter. But now, 1 yard away is Eaton. You've got 1:55 to go, and now it's going to take a miracle. You got to keep him out of the end zone.
It's going to be all the way down to 1:30 by the time they snap this. Flores is back in the game.
I look for him to get the ball at the fullback.
As in Dirksen and True. Oh, they're in a wildcat.
Yep.
True's your quarterback. He's going to take the direct snap, probably run straight ahead. That's exactly what he does.
Yep.
And he walks across untouched. Ryder True gets his first touchdown of the game on a 1 yard wildcat run with 1:36 to go. Eaton goes up 25-14.
I'm going to tell you right now, Ron, the better team has won this game because after Brush responded, of all the plays that have been run this game,
Yep.
Eaton offensively, Brush defensively, and vice versa, Eaton has won 90% of those plays.
Yep, they have.
And it's too bad because Brush was in prime position of 14-7, and I don't know if they know what happened.
I don't know. It's hard to say. I just know as the game went on, you could see that the physicality of Eaton's offensive line started to wear on them. And then, of course, just missed assignments on our defense. Missed assignments, missed opportunities on the offensive side of the ball. You know, you don't like to make excuses because people got to – but Cesar's not his top team.
No.
Because Cesar gets through the line.
He got banged up.
And people hit him, and all of a sudden he keeps driving legs, and it's 20 yards down the field.
Yeah.
And he did not have those plays today.
He did get banged up. You're right.
Yep.
You're right. And now Lopez with the left-footed extra point to make it a 12-point game.
Good snap, hold down. That one's up and good. So Eaton goes up 26-14.
Well, with the 11 factor that I mentioned, it's not a magic trick. You've got to win. That would have been their 11th win of the year for Brush. And now it looks like the Bee Diggers down by 12. They have never had a head coach to win in his first state championship appearance. Not even the great Larry Mills, the Hall of Famer, lost his first one in 77. Coach Dreitz in 2010. It's not easy to get there, and it's even tougher to win that first time you're there.
And you know, looking back at that is so true. But when you're on those sidelines over there, you don't care anything about that because that doesn't matter to you. And it's tough. It's eating on them right now because they had the opportunity was presented for them here today to take control of this game, and breaks did not turn out their way.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
No, that's just a stat, Ron.
No,
you're right. It does. It's totally inconsequential to what's happening here.
But I mean, I know we've sat over here many times on that sidelines, and that the feeling that he's having right now, I can tell what it's like, and it's just.
But we've seen
bad.
2 different football games tonight.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, what a leg!
Finally, a good kick here. That one goes all the way inside the end zone from Grable. So it'll be a touchback here.
I am stunned. I did not see 19 unanswered points being scored by Eaton.
I can't help but go back that in the second quarter, Eaton gives you a gift-wrapped present.
Yep.
A turnover inside the 20, you come away empty-handed.
Well, when you are given a gift, you don't give it right back.
No, they bailed Eaton out there with going 3 and out and a missed field goal. Not that a field goal would have made the difference in this game.
That was a 10-play drive, getting 0 points, using up almost 5 minutes worth of clock.
Well, Hondo finds well, and that pass falls incomplete. Well, not able to hold on through the hit.
And this is clearly clearly, besides what Eaton did with that run game in the offensive line, a byproduct as well. Eaton did not panic. They were here a year ago.
Yep.
They were down 14-7. They got dominated on that 80-yard drive by Brush, but they kept their cool. They stayed with their game plan, and now they've controlled the game up by 12 as we're in the waning minute and a half.
Hondo's going to roll to his right here. Got a good block from Welland. Hondo got to throw across his body. Moriarty makes the catch at the 29-yard line.
That's a great play by Moriarty. Yep. Short of a first down. It's 3rd down and 1, but that keeps the clock moving.
Yeah, that does. Minute 13.
Yep.
And they got a huddle. That's even the worst part. Brush is not a hurry-up offense.
No.
Fisk has got to run to play in. It's 10 seconds before they even, between the end of the last play and getting the next play in. Cesar and Welland in the backfield. Sisk, Cardenas are your man, split out. Hondo rolls right, throws it out of bounds.
Man, Hondo took a shot from Ryan Dirksen, and I think Dirksen got the worst end of that. He's getting up wobbly at the 17-yard line. He lowered his...
He's limping.
Yeah, he lowered his head, and then he kind of landed awkwardly. I'm surprised there wasn't, well, not a roughing necessarily, but now it's 4th down and 1, and this game is essentially over anyway, but it'd be nice for the Bee-Diggers to continue this drive.
48 seconds to go. They'll send Moriarty out to the left, 2 split out to the left, 1 to the right. Shotgun set here. Hondo's going to get dropped. I think that's Dirksen again, back at the 15-yard line.
They couldn't stop him on the run, and they couldn't stop him, and they couldn't block him either.
Nope.
Brush got better every single week, including in this game, until it was a 14-7 game, and then that Brush team went away, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened. I mean, that's something I know the coaches will sit back and watch film at the end of the year here and just try to, digest this whole thing, although it's going to be tough to deal with. It's always tough to deal with a loss, and it's always tough to deal with a loss in a state championship game, the last game of your season.
Ron, when Brush lost to Faith Christian in 98, my first year here, I asked Larry Mills, and he said, how long is it going to take for you to get over it? He said, 2 weeks. It's going to take me at least 2 weeks to get over it. There are lingering effects to losing a big game like this, and there's the knee.
Yep.
Taken by the quarterback Walker Martin and the Eaton Reds. With a 26-14 victory, have defended their 2A state championship in, I guess, rather surprising fashion for us, given the way this game unfolded, and with Brush looking so good.
Yeah, well, hats off to Eaton, John. I mean, this is a team that goes back-to-back in state championships. It's difficult to make here 1 year. It's difficult to get back here again the second year, and then also to win it. So that says a lot about this program. We know coming into this game, these were 2 fine programs. Lots of history, lots of tradition, lots of battles between them. Just unfortunately, it did not swing on Brush's side tonight, and Brush is going to go away as a second-place finisher in this season.
Well, when you consider that Lance Schwint in his first 4 years as head coach, they were 12-19 and went 10-3 this year.
Yeah.
Strong senior class. It's tough to swallow. Brush had a 14-7 lead in the game, and playing Brush Bee-Digger football, it's not that they lost. It's the way they lost that surprised me, given what transpired over the first 31, 32 minutes of the game, Tyler, when Brush looked like they were playing their type of football.
Oh, they come out of that second half and march it down the field and take the 14-7 lead. A part of you wants to say, hey, that's it. Eaton's going to have a hard time coming back from that. And it turned out they didn't have a hard time at all. They marched it down the field twice after that, not even worried about throwing the ball, and relied heavily on Flores. Flores able to redeem himself after that fumble. And I'm telling you, that fumble is going to come back to bite Brush, not able to take advantage of that, and not able to take advantage of the 2 missed extra point opportunities Eaton had. Eaton made mistakes, and they gave you opportunities to win this game, and it didn't work out in Brush's favor. And like you said, it's hard to get here, and it's even harder to win it, and that's something that this coaching staff and this team learned the hard way.
Yeah, it's something that they're going to be thinking about for a long time. I don't know what that time frame is. I don't know if it's 2 weeks. Everybody's different, I worked with Coach Strides for 15 years and Coach Schwint, and I know with Coach Strides, those things did not go away very easy. Once the season started the next year, maybe that's 3 months later, it got back and it went away. But it still, a lot of times, just ate him in the back. He knew that there was opportunities we had to win a game, just like he knows there are opportunities that they should have won this game. So it's just a matter of just sitting there. Right now you're kind of in a numb haze. You don't really know what's going on. You lost the game, but being out there in the championship, you just don't know what to do right now until you take that drive home and think about it.
Tyler, you were in Loveland 2 weeks ago when if there's a proper snap to Eddie Lemos on a 4th and 1, 4th and 2, whatever it was, they pick up a first down. Brush's season could have been over 2 weeks ago. So the fact that we're here tonight is really a blessing for this Brush program. And the fact that they got to the state championship game, considering they had not made a playoff appearance in 6 years. Not only do they make a playoff appearance, they win 3 games in the playoffs. And with a 14-7 lead, we're about 16 minutes away from winning a state championship, which is incredible when you consider the magnitude of what's happened here for the 2021 season.
Well, now you got to go through probably the hardest thing to swallow as a coach of Bear. They give you a second place trophy. I've known players that don't even want to touch that thing. It's like poison. They're like, get it away from me. That's just a reminder that we couldn't finish it off. But what Brush needs to understand is that what they've done this year is nothing short of fantastic. I've watched this team. This is the 3rd year doing this, and the past 2 years, it's been hard football to watch at times. Last year they go 1-3, they lose Eaton, and I know COVID made it a weird year, but the past 2 years have been some hard football to watch for Brush. And Coach Schwint talked about it last week. It's about learning to win, and he goes, it can become easy to lose, and he was able to change that culture around this football team, which was really impressive. Him and Coach Rosenbrock deserves all the credit in the world too. This defense was absolutely fantastic. You hold Eaton to 26 points. Really, that last touchdown's kind of garbage points in my mind. You did an awesome job in the first half. Don't take anything that this season offered for granted. It was a great year for your Brush Beat Diggers, and I know these players are going to look back on it with a little bit of a sour taste in their mouth, but do not take it for granted, especially these seniors who have endured some of that losing football. To have some success this season, it had to feel great for them.
Well, Tyler, what's really important now is I think with this group of guys and the way Coach Schwint and the coaching staff has it, we are back to what Brush football was like.
You've rebuilt
we've
the
rebuilt
culture.
the program, we've rebuilt the culture, we've rebuilt the community. The community is behind us now. And you know what? That is so awesome to sit out there and look at all those people that made that trek all the way down to Pueblo to support our football team and to support our community. And I can't be more proud of our community and our football team and our entire school for the representation that they have here. So I know that we've got good things going now. This is tough. It's going to be hard to get through. We're all going to hate it. But you know what? As the year goes on and as we continue the next couple of years, we're going to just continue to build this program, and we're going to be back to where Brush was prior to the last 5 years.
And with respect to this senior class, they're going to have a heck of a basketball season. There's a lot of talent on that basketball team with Hinojos. Caden Moriarty's apparently playing, Braxton Shelton, some other big players there, and the baseball team is going to be loaded, and they could be the state champions by year's end in baseball. So this just speaks to the senior class, which was highly touted even as freshmen because of all the success they had in their younger years, and that all came out tonight despite the 12-point loss. But the Bee Diggers got a 1-yard touchdown run from Cesar Hinojos on a 21-play, 87-yard drive in the opening half. That is Brush Bee Digger football. Yep. And then the 80-yard drive where they consumed over 8.5 minutes on the 11-yard pass from Hondo to Cale Stegner in the back of the end zone.
That was an awesome play.
Incredible play. And just sitting in the back of the end zone, at least we can say that even though Eaton controlled the final 16 minutes of the game, that the Bee Diggers played good, hard, solid, competitive football, and they were in a position to win the game down by 5 with about 6 minutes to go. I think, quite frankly, they just ran out of gas. I mean, what did you say, Tyler? Eaton can bring and shuffle players in and out. The Bee Diggers didn't have that luxury.
No. Just a reminder, you're listening to 1010 KSIR. KSR.com, the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in all year long. And that definitely played a part. Eaton, correct me if I'm wrong, John, they're moving up, right?
I don't know if Eaton's moving up. I believe Resurrection Christian is moving up. I believe, yeah.
Okay.
I think Eaton will stay right there. They're able to control that, and I think they'll stay still in that 2A classification. You know that's a whether you want, you don't like to make excuses, but the reality of it is they've got more players. They're able to sub those guys in. Our guys that are going both ways, they got tired at times. They got their head down.
You do.
And there's nothing you can do about that.
Look at players like Hondo and Cesar and Kyle Wellen and Yvonne Cardenas and Cade Moriarty. How many times did he have to run up and down the field playing tight end and then flip around and run up and down the field playing the pass in that first half? This was a well-conditioned team, but
it's a big ask. It's a big ask.
It is a big ask, and you can. It's okay to run out of gas sometimes. It happens, and when you're going up against an offense that can go hurry up and can switch guys in and out and doesn't give you a chance to do that, it's a big ask for you. It really, really is. And Brush they learned it the hard way, unfortunately.
And just a quick reminder, I'll be here next Saturday with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde on B106, B106.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network for the 3A state championship game. That'll be a 1 o'clock kickoff when Fort Morgan takes on Meade. Meade defeated Roosevelt today, the number 1 seed, 28-21, and Fort Morgan rallied as a 3 seed to beat the 2 seed Lutheran 23-21. We don't know what's going to happen next week, but the fact that 2 Morgan County teams have made it to state championship games in separate classifications is pretty awesome.
A lot of talent down there. A lot of talent at home.
Yeah, we're back on track in northeastern Colorado. I got to say that. We're back on track, and it is so good because we've always been known for when we travel places, we're a hard-nosed football. We put the hurt on people. We hit them hard, and that's what we're known for, and it's kind of good to see we're back into that situation again.
By the way, I also want to say thanks to Rose Condos, our longtime sound engineer and producer. She's been with us for well over a decade. Tyler, go ahead and make the point you wanted to make there.
Yeah, I forget my point, to be honest with you. Oh, no, I remember. For the Final Four teams this year, all Patriot League teams, that speaks to the talent in Northeast Colorado as well. This is your post-game show, by the way, brought to you by Stubbs Gas and Oil. Fill up your cooler and gas up your car at Stubbs. Easy and convenient. Makes them the only stop you need to or from the big game. As Eaton celebrates in midfield, surely we'll get Coach Schwint maybe at some point here. I know this is probably his last thing on his mind is making his way all the way up here.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to be meeting with parents down there. It's tough. I've never spoken to a head coach after a state championship loss, even though it would be nice. But it's tough because you just have to collect yourself, gather your emotions, and there was so much. And they're still overwhelmed out there. You're going to be overwhelmed either way with a win or a loss. Yep. And obviously it makes it tougher. And Ron, you really verbalized that perfectly. You don't know how long it's going to take to get over because it's a tough one for the Bee Diggers to fall 26-14 in a game they led in the second half 14-7. But as you mentioned, that's why Eaton is Eaton. That's why they won multiple state championships in many sports. But the Bee Diggers will see Eaton again in basketball and baseball and in other sports as well, and even on the girls' side, obviously. And the Bee Diggers will have something to say about it. But for now, the Bee Diggers are the 2021 Class 2A state football runner-ups.
Yep. For the victorious Reds, they're led on the ground by number 45, Dirksen. He goes for 9 carries, 103 yards, and a touchdown. Ryder True picks up a touchdown on 6 carries and 17 yards. Walker Martin, their quarterback, just 5 carries on the day for 48 yards. And then the running back Flores, he carries the ball 11 times, 64 yards, 2 touchdowns. Walker Martin held in check through the air, just 6 of 11 for 50 yards to 5 different receivers on the day. Ryder True had the big completion of 25 yards. For the runner-up Brush Beat Diggers, they're led on the ground by number 28, Cesar Hinojos, 15 carries, 84 yards, and a touchdown. Still a very respectable day. And that was probably on what, one leg, you want me to say? Yeah. Jace Krieger carries the ball 9 carries, 27 yards. Kyle Wellen, 10 carries for 28 yards. And then Hondo rushes it 6 times for 35 yards through the air. Hondo goes 9 of 17 and 89 yards. He did have that one interception that gave Eaton the ball inside the 20-yard line, led to their first score. Caden Schwinn had a couple of receptions for 22 yards. Cade Moriarty, 2 receptions for 15. Yvonne Cardenas had 3 receptions for 28 yards. Jace Krieger had a reception. And then Kel Stegner able to get a 11-yard touchdown reception, and that wraps up your stats for the 2A state title game.
All right. Well, thanks to all of our sponsors for being with us. Ron, for doing an incredible job here with Tyler this season. Great to have you both on air. It was, I'm sure, very well appreciated by the listeners. I've gotten much feedback on that. And, of course, Rose Condos as well, our sound engineer.
Thank you, Rose.
And producer. For Ron Albo and Tyler Carmen, I'm John Beltran. The final score from CSU Pueblo in the 2021 Class 2A State Championship football game. Eaton 26, Brush 14 on 1010 KSIR, KSIR.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.